Yes people, welcome back to the YouTube, and this is everything I'm eating on my bulk to put on as much muscle as I physically can. But before we go through this, we need to go to the shop and grab it all. And just note, I had a bunch of this stuff already at the house, so I won't be getting it all at the shops, but what I'll be doing is a full breakdown of the costs and how much it costs me per week to be eating this amount of food on my bulk. When it comes to shopping and the foods we're buying for bulking, there's a few things we want to consider. Number one, budget. It can get expensive, so we want to keep it budget friendly. Number two, we need to enjoy those meals. There is no point making it super budget friendly, but you hate every single meal. So we need to make the meals enjoyable. If I have to spend a little bit more money, but I enjoy every single meal, for me, that is worth it. Number three, we need to be picking foods that we know digest well. When you're bulking, food's going to get higher. We need to make sure digestion is in a good spot. So they're the three things we need to consider when bulking. Now, when it comes to doing my shops, I actually go to two shops. So I go to Aldi for the budget-friendly side, and I go to Tesco's to get all the other little bits that Aldi doesn't sell and to make my meals more enjoyable. Let's go to the shop and show you what I buy. Make sure you got some bags, because bags are expensive in shops now.
And make sure you don't leave them in the car.
And make sure you don't leave them in the car. First stop, Aldi, where I will get majority of my stuff.
Scan an item, select another.
Second shop, and I've just lost my pound. Well, do you know what? I actually just left it in the trolley. So I'm gonna have to carry a basket around, which is gonna make it more awkward, but I don't need that many things in here, so let's get it.
Club card accepted.
So this is the diet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to break this down into the proteins, the carbs and the fats. So we'll do that now. Oh, and the veggies and the fruits, of course. First up, we've got the carb sources, the most important thing on a bulk. I'm going to explain to you why I choose these carb sources and how much I have per week. So first off, a big bag of jasmine rice. Buying a big bag like this and using a rice cooker is going to save you a lot of money instead of buying the microwavable pouches. So this one here is 5 kilos. That will last me easily a month. Next, we have got the Jason's sourdough chia batter bread. This is by far my favourite sourdough. That's why I go to Tesco's for this sourdough. Very good. Digest great. The main thing with all of these carbs is I know for me personally, they digest really, really well. Pack of bagels. I'll probably go through about 2 packs of bagels a week. The ESN rice pudding. Next, another really easily digesting carb. The jumbo oats, again, I have to go to Tesco's because these are my favourite oats and they are definitely worth spending like an extra £1. Cream of rice, of course, my favourite carb. It digests amazing, tastes amazing. Cream of rice, definitely here. Got some Squares bars, go through one of these a day. Normally pre-training. Then just some rice cakes, which reminds me, I also have jam with these. We've also just got some strawberry jam to have with the rice cakes. So what I'll do is on the next screen, I'll put like an interlude screen on how much I have of these per week and the actual cost for it per week. Now let's move on to the protein. Here is the current protein sources, guys. Now in the shop, you would have seen me not pick up a lot of this. It's because I already had it. But going in first, obviously you didn't see me buy chicken. It's because I've already got a bunch prepped. And when this nearly runs out, I'll go pick some more up. I go with a 0% Greek yogurt or a Skyer. Got some eggs, which also act as a fat source. We've got a whey protein, an isolate, better on digestion. The Perform one is really, really good. I've got 3% lean beef mince, some bacon medallions, the smoked ones, of course. They are so much better than the unsmoked ones. Got some 50% reduced cheese slices. I have burgers, and these go in the burgers, and they are essential. And then I've also got some salmon fillets. Now, salmon is expensive, so what you'll see here is a reduced sticker. What I like to do is every time I go into a shop, I'll go to the salmon section and see if there's any salmon that's been reduced. And to be honest, quite a lot of the time there is. And what I'll then do is I'll just pick up as much as I can when it's reduced and put it in the freezer. And that saves me a lot of money. Like this pack was £11 before, and I got it for £5. And I found like 4 of these packs. So £20 instead of £44. They then go in the freezer, and then I've saved a bunch of money, and I've got salmon for a lot cheaper, and it is there. Happy days. So that's a little tip if you want to try to save money. Buy the reduced meat, whack it in the freezer, and it will save you some money. Now let's get into the fat sources. There isn't a lot of these because my fat is very low. So here is my main fat sources. The egg yolks, the salmon fillets, a nut butter. At the minute I'm currently using a salted caramel peanut butter, but this could be almond butter, this could be any sort of nut butter that you like, and a variety of dark chocolate. Currently using the 70% salted caramel one from Aldi because it is very nice, but majority of the time I use an 85% dark chocolate, a limp one, but they're just so expensive at the minute. They're like nearly £4. It's just not worth it. So I get this one for about half the price, and it is very good. They're my fat sources. Like I said, my fat isn't super high. I have around 40 grams per day, so I don't need a lot of fat sources. Majority of that will come from the eggs and the salmon, and then I have a little bit of salted caramel, peanut butter, and dark chocolate on things like my oats, my cream of rice. And that's my main protein, carbs and fats, and then we'll go through some of the vegetables and fruits that I get. Right guys, here's the fruits and vegetables I eat. So in terms of the fruit, we have pineapple, very good for digestion, also very nice. What I'll do with the pineapple is I'll chop it up and then I'll whack it in the freezer. You get way more than buying just frozen pineapple if you buy a fresh one and chop it up, and it basically tastes the same. I go through an atrocious amount of frozen blueberries and raspberries. If I was to buy these fresh, it would cost me so much. So not only is this cheaper, we've got bananas, super high in carbohydrates and super easy to eat, very good. Ripe bananas, some dried dates. Man, I am obsessed with dates. I could just eat dates, like I could eat like 10 of these packs and just want more. Dates are so good. They're the fruits. In terms of the vegetables, I go with some mushrooms, frozen green beans and peppers. Go through quite a lot of these too. Some lettuce, some shredded lettuce. If you want to be shredded, gotta get the shredded lettuce. Seabum said it. Some tomatoes, and then we got some jarred things. So we got gherkins. I used to hate gherkins, but since prep, I love gherkins. We got some sliced beetroot, some pink pickled onions, and some kimchi. Very good for the gut. This will go in majority of my rice meals, my chicken and rice, things like that. Very, very good for the gut, and you should definitely look to have some of this in your diet. Good for the gut biome. That's the fruit and vegetables. So that is all the food that I'm eating in my bulk. Let's have a look at the total cost breakdown. So it cost me £90 per week, which may seem expensive, but that's around £13 a day, which when I'm eating around 4,000 calories a day isn't that bad. Most people probably spend around £10 a day on food anyway, and this is all good food, and it's food that I enjoy. But could we do it cheaper? Of course. You don't need whey protein, you don't need the cream of rice, you don't need the ESM rice puddings, you can buy cheaper jasmine rice, you can buy cheaper oats. There's so many things you could do to make this cheaper. However, I still want to enjoy my diet, hence why I buy the things I do. Anyway, that will be everything for this video. I hope you enjoyed, got a little bit of insight on what a bodybuilder is eating to bulk. Like, comment and subscribe if you have enjoyed, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.